down here to teach you how to create your own NovelAI Diffusion masterpieces. First off, let's hop into the image editor. We're already logged in and ready to go from the main dashboard. So let's click that image generator banner to get right in. This is your creative atelier. Today we'll cover the absolute basics. NovelAI Diffusion Anime is our state-of-the-art image generation model, and as you may guess from the name, it focuses on anime-inspired art. Let's begin with a simple idea and type it into the prompt box. We'll go with flower field and sunset. And since I don't want to see any people right now, we'll also start our prompt with no humans. Press the generate button and the AI will start creating your image. Look, a beautiful picture, our very first masterpiece. Now, to explain prompting, we must first talk about tags. They're one of the most unique aspects of NovelAI. The AI has been trained in English, but in tag form, rather than natural language, as in normal sentences you'd use to describe your vision with. You can think of tags as the elements that make up all images. These tags give us a lot of control over the image composition, and there are a lot of them. You can get super detailed with tags, and with enough of them, you can get very consistent results across different images. Take note of the little circle on the side of each tag. These circles indicate the AI's knowledge of any given tag. The brighter, the more knowledgeable. Don't worry if this sounds complicated. The AI will suggest tags to you as you type. Look at the suggestions pop up as I type. By the way, tags should be separated with a comma and a space. Makes it easier to read and keep track of your prompt too. Some prompts get pretty long. So, you can check how much space you have left with this handy little bar. It fills up as your prompt grows in length. Look at it go! But enough about landscapes. I want to generate a girl now. Let's add the tag one girl right at the start of the prompt. Things closer to the front will have a bigger impact on the overall image. Let's also add some details. We'll use the tag from side to prompt a specific camera angle, and the tag school uniform for the outfit. For hair tags, we're going with messy hair, brown hair. And finally, the tag green eyes for the eyes. Now, let's press the generate button and see what we get. Voila! She's looking just as we've described in the prompt. I like this image so much I'm gonna click on the seed button here. So now I can make adjustments to the prompt without changing the entire image. Speaking of which, you can get a more granular control over what the AI will focus on by strengthening or weakening tags. To strengthen a tag, all you have to do is surround it in curly brackets. The more brackets you use, the stronger the effect will be, but too many can have some strange effects. Also, make sure you use the same amount on both sides unless you're at the very end of your prompt. So, let's strengthen the tag messy hair by placing curly brackets around it and look at the result. We can also do the opposite and tell the AI to weaken a tag by surrounding it in square brackets. This works well with things like makeup that can sometimes turn out a little too extreme. And there we go! Here you can clearly see how the hair progressively gets messier when we go from a weakened tag to a normal tag and then to a strengthened tag. Now, there's also times where the AI adds things to your image which you didn't ask for. For that, we have undesired content. Here, you can just write down anything you don't want the AI to generate. It's that simple. And yes, you can also use curly brackets and square brackets here as well. As an example, let's add petals into undesired content and watch how those flying petals disappear from the image. This image size is a bit too small for my taste. Let's switch to a more horizontal resolution. Depending on what you're trying to generate, you might find that some aspect ratios work better than others. Here, you can also choose how many images you want to generate at once. Keep in mind that generating more images increases the cost in Analyst, the NovelAI currency used for image generation. Users subscribed to the Opus tier can generate as many images as they want without spending any Analysts, as long as they stay within the normal image dimensions and only generate one image at once. As you can see, all the images we've been generating so far appear in history on the right. If you ever generate horrors beyond belief, you can also remove them from your history to avoid nightmares. Once you're satisfied with your results, you can click the download button below any image to save it to your computer. For user privacy reasons, NovelAI doesn't save any of your generated images. This means that if you close or refresh the page, all your images will be lost. You will get a warning pop-up should you accidentally try to leave. So don't forget to save any of the images you like. If you've generated up a storm, you can always grab all of your generated images at once by clicking on Download Zip. And not only that, but we don't claim ownership of anything created with NovelAI. Your AI art belongs to you. Use your images for anything you want. Another good thing about saving your images is that you can go back and recover the prompt and settings used to create the original image simply by dragging and dropping it on the site. Do keep in mind that, by default, the seed value of the original image also gets imported. While this can be useful in some cases, if you want a different image with the same prompt, then all you have to do is click on the seed value to clear it. Once you're comfortable with the process of generating images, you can start playing around with more advanced settings like steps, prompt guidance, sampler, and prompt guidance rescale. The default values are already optimized for a good experience in most use cases, but experimentation can always lead you to great results. Don't worry if you feel like you messed up something while experimenting with these settings. You can always press the reset button to return them all back to the default values. If you'd like to learn more about how these settings work, I recommend checking the official NovelAI documentation page where you can find more in-depth tutorials. I'm looking forward to seeing what wonderful illustrations you'll create. Good luck with your AI-powered creations! Bye-bye!